What's up, Star Wars fans? David Land here, and I'm bringing you an unboxing, review, and product demonstration of Poe Dameron's X-Wing fighter from the Star Wars The Force Awakens toy line. When I saw the X-Wing, the brand new X-Wing in the very first Star Wars trailer, to me that was the moment that Star Wars came back. So I absolutely had to buy this, and I can't wait to share it with you so that you can make not only an informed product buying decision, but kind of enjoy taking this out of the box with me. So I hope you guys will enjoy this. This is David Land on YouTube, and let's get to it. So as you can see, it comes in a pretty large box. Of course, you do get a Poe Dameron figure there. Pretty cool artwork here on the side of the box. It is, of course, the same artwork you get on the basic Poe Dameron figure. Here's the back of the box. You can see Poe's X-Wing. Apparently, he's Black Leader from Black Squadron, whatever that means. You can read all about it right there. Really a fairly big box, and from what I understand, it's not quite as big of a ship as this, so maybe they've wasted some space on the box here. But let's take it out, shall we? So here's everything you should get right out of the box. Of course, you've got your Poe Dameron figure. We'll take a closer look at him in just a second. You get the nose cone for the X-Wing. It is very rubbery. That'll be interesting to see how that works. You get a little missile down here, if I could pull it out. It's a little red missile. A photon torpedo, as some of us in Star Wars land will call it. You get 4 turbo laser cannons. And this is pretty disappointing because in the package, the way it's packaged, they kind of got bent, so maybe we can find a way to straighten these out a bit, but that is kind of unfortunate. You get some stickers here for the X-Wing, probably for the cockpit area. As I tear apart the box to show you them, there they are. Yes, and they're definitely for the cockpit area. You get an instruction manual there, pretty well printed. We'll take a look at that when we put it together. And then, of course, you do get the X-Wing Starfighter, the fuselage, as it were, for the ship. And you kind of got to pull it out of the back, as I'm finding out, because it's a fairly long ship. But there you go. There's the fuselage, BB-8. I'm sure a lot of people will be very interested in that. But there you go. Let's take a closer look and assemble this X-Wing, shall we? So let's first take a look at the Poe Dameron figure that comes with this set. You've got Poe there. His helmet is removable, which is a nice feature, something that's not included on the basic figure. You do get a holster here, but unlike the basic figure, the holster does not come off. The gun, the little pistol here, comes out of the holster and goes into his hand. Probably better than what I'm doing, but I'm doing it kind of fast. But he does hold on to the gun. Pretty decent face sculpt. Does look like Oscar Isaac. A little bit of weird paint on the hair there. Not really sure what's going on there. But as you go down the rest of the figure, basic 5 pointers of articulation. You can see his arms and his legs move, and he's got a ball-jointed head. That's about it. Comparing him to the basic figure Poe that you can get, it seems like it's pretty much more or less the same mold in terms of the sculpt for the figure's body. But like I said, with this Poe, you've got a removable holster, which you don't have on this Poe, but you do not have a removable helmet. This Poe does the opposite. You can take his helmet off, but you can't take his holster off. Very strange decision, but I have to say, I really kind of do like this figure, and it's definitely a selling point for the vehicle because you do get Poe with the removable helmet. And here's a closer look at the helmet accessory if you were interested in it. It's pretty cool. So actual assembly is pretty straightforward. You've got the rubber nose cone, and that should just slide on there, and it does. And then, of course, you've got the 2 cannons on each side. Now, You can see that they've got a different little code there for the wings. That's because the wings are offset. With these new X-Wings, the two S-foils, as they're called, lock into one position rather than two. So the wing on the inside will need this kind of shorter version, and the wing on the outside will need the longer version. So we'll go with the longer version first, and there's just a little snap in there. Should snap in pretty easily though. Hopefully I'm doing some good videography here, and if I'm not, I'm not. And actually, you know what? I think I did this wrong. Did I? Yeah, I did. I put, well, see, I made a mistake there. You've got to be real careful because there's a small bolt here and a long bolt and a wide bolt. So the small bolt and the wide bolt should line up with the holes, and yeah, that's much easier, much easier. And then we've got the other one that should snap right into there. Everybody seems to make that mistake when they did the big old unboxing video on YouTube. Even the hosts who were, you know, paid to be there, as I don't show it, paid to be there, didn't even know how to do it. But yeah, they'll snap in really easily. Then of course you do it on the same side as well. Just that's a wide. See, it's a wide on outside, short on inside. Pretty easy to figure out. And then that just snaps in there. And the other one, not so wide. You've got the little plugs there, and it should plug right in. There it goes, plugs right in, and then you've got your crossed firing bullets there. Not sure where the missile goes in. Ah, here it goes. Your missile goes in underneath. It's actually pretty subtle for an action feature. But there you go. You've got your X-Wing fully assembled. The gun turrets look very goofy, but we'll have to go over some play features after we get the stickers applied. Okay, so the stickers wrap pretty well around the cockpit. In fact, the cockpit detail is kind of cool. You can see the seat there looks a lot like a real seat with the cushion there. But it'll be interesting to see if Poe can actually fit in his X-Wing. Okay, so there's your X-Wing fully assembled. Now let's take a look at some action features that are in this vehicle. There's quite a few actually. The first and most obvious thing you're going to need your X-Wing to do is open the wings to get into attack mode. Otherwise, you know, you hear in the Death Star run in the first Star Wars movie, they say open S-foils into attack position. Well, you do that this way. See BB-8 here? And a BB-8 does turn. 360 degrees of articulation, as some person called it. But you can push down BB-8 and the wings spring open. Pretty good mechanism. They are a little bit flimsy. You can push them down, but once you get it locked in there, it's going to stick. And how to get them back, how to get it back into the flight mode is you can see this little button behind BB-8. You push it in or out or whatever. You push it this way, and it goes, and the wings come back in pretty easily. You know, that's the function that you really need to work on an X-Wing, and thankfully it works. Moving to the bottom of the ship, you've got non-retractable landing gear on the engines here. You've got the firing mechanism for the photon torpedo, which you can press and shoot your first order TIE fighter pilot or whichever toy you feel deserves the wrath of the X-Wing. And then moving further up, you've actually got retractable landing gear here. The front landing gear actually does go back into the fuselage there and back into the ship, so that's a nice feature. Now time to answer the question du jour. Does Poe fit fit in his X-Wing? That's what seems to be the question for everybody, and a lot of people say no, he does not. Let's find out. Let's squeeze his legs together. Boy, his arms are it's gonna be a very, very tight fit. I can tell you that. Gotta really squeeze him in there. Boy, this is a very, very tight fit. Is that as far down as he goes? No, he's got to go down farther because otherwise he's not going to, the canopy's not going to shut. And this is the big complaint I've heard with this toy, is you can't get Poe down there very easily. You really got to jam, you got to be rough with him, and I don't really like being rough with these guys, but I guess we have to. And then we'll stick his helmet on. Does it close now? No, it doesn't. Wow, this really is a very tight fit. It's amazing that they didn't make this just slightly wider. It would have made it so much easier to get Poe down in there. I think I shouldn't have sat him down that way, the way I did the first time. I think you kind of got to lay him down a little bit. So let's do this. This is all in real time. I haven't tried this before, so you're finding out as I do. Alright, we lay him down a little bit. Squeeze his legs together. One arm in, two arms in, and then down into the cockpit. Do you fit, Poe? Almost. Try to get him. Oh, there we go. There, he really slid down in there. And now, yeah, so you kind of got to lay him down, but he does fit in there. It's very much a Formula One style seating position. He does have the ball jointed head. Maybe we can get him in a more natural. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can get him in a pretty natural flying pose here. Pose, pun not really intended there. But yeah, that's the Poe that comes with the X-Wing. Now let's see if we can pry him out of there. This might be a harder. Well, it's pretty easy to get him out once you've got him in. But let's try the Poe from the basic line. I've taken off the holster, so maybe that will help. I was interested to see this, and I haven't seen anybody attempt it yet. It should be the same body, so it should. Poe should get in here. Oh wow, that Poe, the Poe without the holster, it's almost like he was made for it. He just goes in there so quickly, it's unbelievable. The other Poe has the non-removable holster. So this Poe right here, the holster that I haven't been able to get out, I don't think you can get out, actually hinders his ability to get in the X-Wing. The basic Poe just absolutely slips in there with no problems. It's really pretty weird. It's almost like they swapped the basic release of Poe and the Poe that should have come with the X-Wing, but I digress. So this is Poe Dameron's X-Wing fighter. And I'm going to give some final thoughts here because I paid $50 for this thing at Target. And I have to say, I'm a bit disappointed with the quality. Not only is the plastic feels very brittle, it's pretty hard to get the Poe figure that comes with the ship to get in there. BB-8's not painted all that well. In fact, BB-8's not really painted at all in his little cockpit. But the wings are bent, or they're not the wings, but the guns came warped in the package. Even the nose, both rubbery kind of pieces are just kind of warped, and they just don't look quite right. It's kind of disappointing. I still am glad I bought this, but for other people's, particularly collectors and maybe kids who are more discerning, I would say wait until it goes on clearance, or there's a significant markdown. It's a pretty decent vehicle. I do like the sculpting quite a bit. There's some nice details on it, but overall, I would say it's not worth what Hasbro's asking for it at the moment, just because there's so many, there just seem to be so many small quality issues with it. It's really kind of shocking that they released this as a toy for a movie that's likely to become the biggest box office hit in history. Very baffling, but you know what, I still enjoy it. So I am going to enjoy it because I bought it. I knew kind of what I was getting into. I've seen some people who bought it before me and what they had to say about it. So, you know, I knew what I was getting into, and hopefully this review has helped you. You've been watching David Land on YouTube. I'd really appreciate if you found this video helpful to leave a like on it and subscribe for more. I'm doing a lot more Star Wars content on this channel as The Force Awakens is about to come out, and I absolutely love Star Wars, and it's kind of disappointing that my favorite ship kind of didn't get the best treatment, but hopefully this review helped you make an informed decision on buying this or whether or not to buy it. But I'm going to enjoy it because I like it, and hopefully I helped some people out. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you.